Yesterday while I was at work, I kind of sort of figured out that if my computer is in my lap, I can sort of use my right hand to use the scroll wheel. I can't reach up and type all that well, but I can use the trackpad, which will help a lot with cutting the time off of how long it takes me to edit these vlogs. So that is a huge thing to have figured out. It's not as comfortable to be sitting like this trying to edit, but it's much more doable if I can use my right hand. So hey, the little improvements, we'll take them. So my parents just left because my dad's getting a colonoscopy this morning, which, bless his soul, hopefully all things go well with him. And then we're actually gonna eat really quick and head to work because we're actually leaving work early to go to my ortho appointment, which, you know, the Talbot boys are going through it today. So hopefully all things go smooth leading up to that and we can get in on time. It's like a 40-ish minute drive out to the ortho, which not a big deal, but I just want to make sure I can get everything ready to go today and I can mentally be prepared to head into the ortho and, you know, hear the worst, because obviously I'm assuming the worst is going to just be a very long recovery time. You know, whether or not I have to get surgery doesn't really matter as long as I can fully recover. But yeah, I guess we'll find out when we get there later this afternoon. Wow, it is really cold out. I think it's more windy than anything, but still. Alrighty, we are out of work. Actually, quite a busy shift today, so I really didn't have a chance to film anything, but on our way to the ortho now with Mama T and Jimmy T in the back. Jimmy, how did your colonoscopy go?
Fantastic.
He said fantastic, the best ever, which is a crazy statement, but yeah, hopefully we'll be able to head in, have a smooth drive there, and everything will be good. So I'll see you guys when we get there. Alrighty, we just got out of the ortho appointment, heading home now. We're gonna grab some food on the way back though, and then we'll break down what happened when we get home.
Thank you.
And we are back. Oh my goodness, do I have a lot to talk about. So first of all, I'm gonna just give you a heads up. This might be just 4 to 5 minutes of me talking about everything that just happened, but it's gonna be worth it if you're interested in knowing what all happened, why it happened, and how we're gonna go into the future. But first of all, more importantly, if you follow me on Instagram, you already know this, but the doctor said no surgery, which is huge. As you can see, I already have my sling off, which we're going to talk about in a little bit, but the reason why I'm not going to be doing surgery is because it was only separated by 1.5 centimeters, and if it was over 2 centimeters, I believe, separated from where the bone should be, it's higher above that. If it was over 2 centimeters separated from where it should be, I would have gotten surgery. But like I said, it was only 1.5, so we were a half centimeter off of where it needed to be to get surgery, which I'm not going to complain about. I'm very, very thankful for. And that's not to say I couldn't have. The ortho said that about 50% of orthos would probably tell me to get surgery. The other 50% would probably just tell me to let it heal. And I'm going to be honest, the way he was explaining it to me is like, it's a 90% chance that it's going to heal back and there's not going to be any problems. And if it can just heal back on its own, why put a plate in your arm if we don't have to, type of thing, And honestly, I couldn't agree more. I would much rather it just grow back in on its own. I don't really want to get surgery to begin with. If I don't have to, that sounds great. And it is a very low percent chance that it wouldn't grow on its own or like reattach on its own in a sense. So that is, first of all, very, very, very big news. I'm so relieved to hear that more than anything. But the next thing I guess we could kind of discuss is the recovery process, which is very, very interesting. The ortho was telling me that there's a good chance I won't even need PT because as long as I'm like slowly taking my arm, moving it up, trying to, increase my range of motion, which I'm still quite scared to do. Obviously, you can probably tell. And I've only been, having a broken collarbone for a week now. So there's no reason for me to start rushing into this. But as long as I start to get myself accustomed to moving around and whatnot, my bones should naturally heal back and there shouldn't be a problem. And I should be able to regain all my range of motion and everything on my own, and I might not even need PT, which sounds great. Again, if I don't have to go to PT, I'd prefer not to, but obviously I'm not against going to PT. I think PT is very important, and if I need to, I need to. That's not a problem, but if I don't have to, I'd prefer not to, type of thing, So I am gonna slowly start to move my arm around, try to get it used a little bit more. I could tell. I was kind of talking about this as well with my parents and the doctor, but I could tell with not using my right arm, like I have spasms and numbness and whatnot in my right arm. And, it's been used to the past 23 years being used every single day to do everything. So now it hasn't been used for like 7-8 days. It's losing all that muscle and everything that it's been doing, A day or two of rest might be nice, but now it's like, all right, what are we doing? So I am slowly going to start incorporating this more into my day-to-day routine. Obviously, I just can't push the limits by any means. I'm not going to be able to do any lifting. I can't run still. And not that I couldn't run, but it's just like I can't move my arm in the running motion just yet. And running with one arm is probably just going to do more harm than it will any good. So there's just no reason to try to even attempt to run. But there's a good chance that I might be able to run in 2 to 3 weeks, which is a crazy thing to say. But if I continue to increase my range of motion and, in the next week or so, my bone starts to build like the callus around each other and slowly mold into one of another, which is kind of the way it was explained. I probably did a terrible job of explaining how that system works, but I'm not a doctor. I don't really know. So, yeah, if I can slowly increase all that, there's a chance that I could, jog a couple easy miles day to day and just not move my arm all that much and I'd be fine. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. There's a good chance I still will have to wait that 6 to 8 week period before I'm really going to be able to start running again. I don't know, and I don't really have a conclusive answer, but I will say that in 3 weeks on December 26th, I will be going back to the ortho to get another set of x-rays. I got x-rays today, and looking at them, they looked so much worse than the first set of x-rays I got, which was crazy, but I got full body length x-rays today. Unfortunately, I didn't get any footage of that, but they were full length, and you could see the normal collarbone versus the broken one, and it looked so bad. I was like, oh my God, that's my collarbone? But it looks worse than it might actually be, in a sense, I guess you could say, but I don't really know. But like I said, going back on the 26th to get another set of x-rays, and that will give me more information about when I can really start going back into things. There is a very, very, very 50-50 chance that I could be running by January 1st. Not full-fledged running, but just jogging a couple easy miles. that would be ideal. You know, I'd only lose about a month of not running, and that's also not including I can bike and I can walk, and I think those are going to be huge to try to keep me in shape. But yeah, it's going to be a long process. It's going to be a journey. I'm really relieved that I don't have to get surgery. I did not want to in the slightest. I was very, very nervous about that, but it looks like it's going to be okay. And I just was really happy that I ended up seeing the ortho that I did, because it was great working with him, talking to him. He was very down to earth, and you know, he was basically just like, listen, our bodies, you know, we're not meant to break our bones, but they have ways to fix themselves. And there's no reason to go in there surgically if your body can fix itself, and you're going to be, you know, basically the exact same as you were before. You might be able to see a little bump right on your collarbone from the healing process, but if you can get that full range of motion back, you should be fine. And that's what I'm hoping for. So sorry that I just spent, you know, 7 minutes ranting about, or ranting, uh, reviewing, I guess you could say, everything that happened. But yeah, it's just, it was a lot, and I didn't really know how else better to do this. So that is the plan going forward. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, drop in the comment section below. I'll make sure to answer all those questions, comments, and concerns. But yeah, I think that's a good place to end the vlog today. Might have been a little shorter on the, you know, footage side versus me talking, but it's hard to, you know, I'm not going to record the conversations we have with the doctor. That would be even longer than this video is, because obviously we're really going into detail about everything. So yeah, this is probably just the quickest and easiest way to do it. So that being said, I'm going to end the video here. I'm going to stop yapping. Take care, little things. I'll see you guys tomorrow for another vlog, and hopefully we'll be back soon. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.